Hi, this is the sixth part of the video Shamba Allah, the Underworld. So malevolent beings are allowed to go in the cities of Shamba Allah, Antarctica. However, they live in the caverns. Thus are the three main races of the planet. The Flugel rods and the Durus are related to Caucasians. The Terus are related to the Orientals, and the Dunaki owls and the Duwanis are related to Nubian in the form of the Watusi and the Pygmy, who bred with the Dunaki owls and the Duwanis. The great master Imhotep, who was a little person, was a product of his ancestors, the Duwanis, mixing with the original Pygmies, who were Ptah and his wife Khidru-Ankh, who produced Imhotep, whose wife was Rasha, who produced Hagar, the wife of Ibrahim. While they went to the caverns beneath the waterfalls during the meteorite shower that took place 2,250,000 years ago. This occurred at the end of the fourth sun cycle, when the Pygmies went and lived inside the great city Shambhala. These Pygmies, or dwarves, were also called Azizans. The Ashanti tribe of Ghana, Africa, called them Mumamichia. The Watusi, however, went inside the caves of Europa, named after their female deity, the daughter of Agenor. There is a city within the inner earth called Rainbow City. Countless millions of years ago, humanoid greys called Romanians, created by the Ristians and given their freedom, came to rule an empire of planets stretching over 100 galaxies. At some time in their conquests, the ancient humans encountered the race of reptilians, which was to become their deadly enemy. The snake people and the ancients battled for 1,000 years, with the advantage passing first to one side, then to the other. However, it became clear that the snake people had won. They chased the humanoid race from planet to planet, scattering the remnants of the humanoid empire to a few lonely worlds. One of them was the planet Lahmu. Mars, also known as the Red Planet. For hundreds of generations, the planet Lahmu served as a hospitable home of the ancients. However, as time passed, the ancients realized Mars was dying. Its oxygen and the water was slowly evaporating into space. The great ruler of Mars sent a fleet of spaceships to Earth to investigate its potential as a new home. the scouting party returned full of praise for the planet Earth, especially the subtropical Antarctic continent. So the great ruler told several thousands of his subjects they were to leave and prepare the way on the New World. They settled in Antarctica and built 7 great cities there, modeled after the cities in Mars. Each had a distinctive color and was called the Green City, or the Blue City, or the Red City. The greatest was the Rainbow City. It was called this because it was constructed entirely of plastic and of all the colors of the rainbow. The Rainbow City was deserted for 1,000,000 years. It alone of the 7 cities was free of ice, for hot springs beneath the city kept it and the surrounding valley at room temperature. Encircled by a wall of ice, then 1,000 feet high, Rainbow City has remained hidden from Antarctica explorers to this day, since the technology of the ancients was infinitely superior to that of the surface dwellers. The city was found with all its incredible machinery running as well as it had when the city was built 2,500,000 years ago. Many people don't know it. However, plastic is a relatively new product to humans. Plastic was introduced to you more than 80 years ago. It is one of the many things that was given to you by extraterrestrials. The story of Rainbow City and they having to flee their planet and find salvation on other planets is not a new one. It is the story of the beings called reptilians, also known as Anunnaki, Elohim, having to leave their planet and take refuge on Mars, in the Milky Way on Kimar, in Arcturus on Kiltum, in Pleiades on Hamdun, and in Orion on Munzil. This is where they, the Canaanite Caucasian beastman, got their story of Rainbow City from. The Anunnaki are a supreme race of beings whose name is Dinir in the cuneiform language. They are dark, greenish brown skinned beings like olives with supreme 9 ether hair texture of what you call kinky or kingly. They look like human beings with a few exceptions, such as their eyes. Some of the Anunnaki's eyes are exceptionally larger than that of humans. They are of such an advanced state that if you confront one of them with a weapon, they would let you shoot them rather than hurt you. The Anunnaqi Nergal Shar'estar, and also called Erra, and his wife Arishkegal were the rulers of Kurnugi, the Underworld, which was also called Zuab or Abzu. Now, to get to the point, we Anunnaki on planet Erra, which is in the 19th galaxy called Ilium, were in trouble because of our depleting ozone layer. The ozone layer was depleting 3 times as fast because Ilion has 3 suns, Utu, Shamash, and Apsu. At a certain time of year, all 3 suns shine on the planet Rizqa at the same time, thus causing major damage to the planet. The condition on Rizqa had become so intolerable that we had to flee the planet. There was a conflict between Tarnush, a reptilian, and Mordokta, and Anunnaki involving the planet Rizqa. Tarnush felt that Mordokta, who was the grandson of Anu, was not capable of controlling the fleets of the Anunnaki. So he, Tarnush, bombed the planet Rizqa with a shield depleter, a plutonium bomb which caused the atmosphere to deplete. The planet Rizqa, its 3 suns, all having damaging ultraviolet rays, and it has a much faster rotation than that of this planet. So the depletion of the ozone layer occurred at a faster rate. We needed to build a protection, a dome of gold dust suspended in the atmosphere to protect the planet from the damaging ultraviolet rays. The gold was needed because it shields the sun's rays. It is used to reflect the sun's heat. Gold is very special. It's a high polished metal with a high polished finish. It can be made thinner than any metal. It can be stretched thinner than paper and stretched for miles. That is why they use it. Gold can be vaporized better than any other metal, and it doesn't tarnish. Gold can also hold under any condition. We had to abort our planet until it could be mended. Thus we moved to Kes'il, known today as Orion Galaxy, which was originally a 6-star, 6-sun constellation. Others went and started living in Aish, Pleiades, a star cluster in the Taurus constellation, which has many life forms. But we made our home in the 3-star belt of Kes'il, or Kes'ul in Nuwaubik, which is Orion. We had to get closer to the Milky Way and this sun, which has exactly 1 billion years left to burn out, if the ozone doesn't deplete or the 7 plagues doesn't destroy it. We move to Lahmu, which means deity of war, what is now called Mars. Then we move to Gaga, Pluto, and various other planets, and set up civilizations as the moon and as the Canis Major star constellation. That is why the face on Mars is believed to be that of Homo erectus, when it is in fact the face of Homo erectus being cloned into Homo sapien, the face of Zatar, whose name is Kadmon, called the Azama Project. It looks like the face of the Sphinx. The face is thought to be the Pharaoh Khufu, when in fact it is the Egyptian deity Osiris, Asaru. Standing at the base of the face, you would see to your left, in the distance, massive pyramids similar to their Egyptian counterparts, part of the city complex. Within the cluster of pyramids called the city, there are 7 major pyramidal forms in various states of preservation. Among these are some half-dozen smaller objects. Some are pyramidal forms, but others are apparent domes and cones, and the walls and buried rectilinear markings to the southwest of the main complex. Anunnaki Allahum came to planet Earth to set up the first laboratory called Shimdi, that you call an Egyptian civilization, Enki Earth, also called Ta or Ptah. This occurred 450,000 years before coming to Tiamat, Earth. They were followed by 1001. The name Utu, the sun, Azra, the sun, and the head deity they called Osiris, which is Uziel, after the Sirius star constellation, also called Sothis in Greek and Sept in Egyptian. We, Anunnaki, originally came here to this planet to mine gold that we would take back to our planet Rizqa. First we sent Romadians who built androids, which are machines that are almost human, called robotoids, robotic machines. Then biological gravitation was added, needed as thinking beings to complete the mission. So Anunnaki was sent to scout and survey this planet. Let me explain where the word Earth came from, because this planet has had many names depending on who is speaking about it and from which galaxy. One of the oldest names used referring to Earth is Tiamat, later to be called Qi, and finally was called Eridu, a home away from home, by a race of supreme beings called Anunnaki, who came here to Earth originally for the sole purpose of mining. Over 7,050 years ago, their crafts called ziggurats, consisting of 7 stages sloping upwards into a pyramidal form 300 feet in height, or crown-shaped shams. Crown-shaped shams. And they crash down in the Arabian Sea on the southern tip of what is called Iraq today, and named that spot Eridu. The Riskians had to mine gold in order to create a gold dome to protect the planet from the sun's rays. gold particles were found in the asteroid belt, which let them know gold existed in this solar system. They departed to the planet Lahmu, Mars, meaning deity of war, and settled there. And they also went to the other side of the moon and mined gold there. When they found out that there was gold on the planet Tiamat, Earth, meaning maiden of life, today called Earth, they decided to come to Earth to mine for gold and different minerals necessary for the dwindling atmosphere of their planet. A base was set up on the other side of the moon to transfer the gold back to Nibiru, and from there to the 8th planet Erra. Here, on the other side of the moon, we assembled 30-mile long crafts to transport the minerals we collected. When Anu first came to Ptah, called Earth or Terra, 500,000 years ago, the Dragon people or Draconians and the Snake people were already here, living in the vast tunnels under Earth's, Terra's crust, or some lived in the deep seas to protect themselves from the frequent radiation storms and magnetic shifts. The atmosphere was being